Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. Here's going to be maybe a repair video on this unit. This is a Power Wizard PW18000. So it's an 18 output joule unit. This does have a full power, half power switch on here, so it goes from 9 joules to 18. Majority of people, for whatever reason, run on a full power because they think they need to, and it burns them up on the inside, gets things too hot. So my recommendation, if you have one of these things, run on half power. And make the thing last longer. This particular unit is 5 years old, almost not even 5 years old. We're at April 2020 is when it was manufactured, so it's not even 5 years old, and it's already in for repair. So, poor old fence charger. Guy probably has on too big of a fence charger on not enough fence, and got the thing hot because it couldn't get rid of all of its energy and overheated. So that's not a problem with the fence chargers, is people buy too big of a unit for too small of a fence. And depending on how the unit's built, it might last a long time, or it might get 4 years out of it, like this one. Don't hear anything right around the inside. Sometimes you'll hear pieces roll around. Okay, see a black smudge right there, which I don't know what that is. Taking a look here. Don't see anything dark and out of the ordinary. It's like the transformer. Oh, yeah. Okay, transformer's junk. See, it's all swelled up there. You know what causes that? Overheating, because the customer had on full power and didn't have enough fence load hooked up to it. And all the energy from the capacitor, because it's on full power, it's going to put out 18 joules every single pulse, every single time. And if you do not have it on enough fence load for what this thing's designed to do, it can only get rid of so much energy. So the guy paid for 18 joules, and that's what he had it set on, and he wasn't getting 18 joules out of it. He was probably getting like 6 or 4 or 5 or something like that. And all that extra power is trying to get rid of out of the transformer. It can't get rid of because it's not enough fence load. And that's why the damn transformer got so dang hot and why it failed. So that's why I tell people, if you get these 18 joule units or 12 joules, whatever, if you got a half power setting, run on a half power until you really, really need that extra power. Then flip it over there and run a lot cooler. I imagine there's probably going to be issues with the board as well. So we definitely need a transformer. I got to look and see if I've got one. Another thing we want to check is this board. And usually what goes wrong with these, because the customer's got not enough fence load, that diode is there to protect things, and if it gets too dang hot, that diode fails. This one doesn't look bad, but you got to test it to see. See that black diode right there? Looks good, and it may be good, but you got to test it to verify. You can't just assume because it looks good, it is good. Because I've seen lots of these look good and they're bad. The only way to do it, you got to test it. But I've seen other ones that'll be broken, split in half, and you know for sure it's bad. So we'll put our meter on the diode setting. We'll put our black lead on the stripe, red lead on the non-stripe. It's actually good, so that's nice. Now we'll test this SCR. It's probably usually if this is good, that's good, but you never know. It looks fine. So this has got a thermal paste on there that was on the heatsink. That white goop on there. That's a thermal paste stuff to try to help the heat. Just to see, we'll put a red lead on the center. We're still in the diode setting. Put a red lead on the center, black lead on on one of the outside leads. All right, get nothing, which could be good or bad. We'll flip our leads around and repeat the test. Nope, it's good. See how it just beeped and gave us a number? That's good. So black lead on the center, red lead on the outside. This board might be fine. He might just, I mean, that's the biggest thing that fail on these are those, and that's because it's not faulty parts. It's customer has too big of a unit on too small a fence. So let's we'll check the. I have to unplug it, plug it back in. We'll put a meter on ohms. We're going to test across the transformer and see if it reads 0 point something ohms. 0.5 ohms. So the primary in theory is good, but so in theory, you know, everything else is fine. This unit should tick off and go. You know, the output could be bad, but let's just plug it in. I know the transformer is junk, but let's just plug it in and see what it does. Watch that little red light. Let's turn the light off, overhead light off here, so it shows up better. Let's, it's dark. It's right 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's really cloudy outside, real cold. Turn the light on here, or turn the switch on here. Oh, yeah. So board's fine, but we do need a new transformer. So I think all that's wrong with this thing is transformer. Let's, it sounds like it's snapping a little loud. I think because it's starting to break down inside the transformer even more. It hasn't gone completely out. But let's put this meter on there. This is our analog fence tester. Now, if you are interested in one of these testers, holler at me, either in the comments area or my email address, which is, come on, focus, fencerfixer816@gmail. You can also call or text the same number, or if you're out of this country or in a way different time zone, you can use the same number, but you can use WhatsApp and call me there. At that same number, you can text. Probably won't answer if you're way out of the country, but you can definitely text that number. Let's put our gauge here, and we'll test across the output here. On half power, which is what the switch is at, usually about 5,000 volts on half power, and then on full power, usually about 7. Right now we got switched to half power. There's no polarity to these leads. So you can test the unit, or you can use this tester to test the fence. We're getting zilch out of it, nothing out of it. So the transfer is definitely garbage, but now we can verify if this output board's our issue or if it's the transformer indeed. We're going to change the transformer. I don't have one here ready to go, but we'll check here. Now, if this reads bad still right across here, this board is probably fine. It could be bad, but it might still be fine. So let's switch back on a power supply or a power strip. So that gauge is barely moving, just bumping a little bit. So I think all that's wrong with this one's transformer, honestly. We'll put the heat sink back on there, of course, on that. Oh, we did. Sorry, let's heat sink off something else. So, but we need a new transformer in this one. This one be good to go. So, got to order one of those. A pretty cheap part. So, if I'm going to talk to the customer about this thing, I said, you're going to run on half power. It'll last a lot longer. The 18 joule unit runs on half power at 9 joules. That's still going to lock your teeth up and make your back hurt. So you're not going to feel, pain-wise, you're not going to feel a difference between 9 and 18. It's going to hurt the same. So your body's going to feel just as bad between 9 joule and 18 joule. You're going to cross your eyes and piss yourself and lock your teeth up at the same time. All right, well, until we'll get a transfer for this, I'll call the customer up. But that's a nice, easy fix. If the guy ran on half power, probably would still be running, but he didn't. So now it's got 4 years out of it, and now he's got to get it worked on. Well, at least it's a cheap fix. All right, until next time, see you later.